Hello, guys. Thank you for attending my persuasive speech. It's titled is Protecting Reproductive Rights and Abortion Access. So I want you guys to imagine a world where women are denied the right to make decisions about their own bodies. They're forced to carry pregnancies that they can't afford, they can't physically endure, or even emotionally bear. This is not a hypothetical situation, but a scary reality for millions of women across the United States. The erosion of reproductive rights impacts not only individuals, but society as well. Today, I'd like to call on you to take immediate action in protecting reproductive rights and abortion access. Together, we will explore the societal implications of abortion restrictions and discuss practical steps to safeguard these rights, as well as visualize a future where reproductive freedom is guaranteed as a right for all women. Understanding the importance of reproductive rights helps ensure that everyone has control over their own body. By learning more, you can get involved in advocacy, vote for policies that protect healthcare access, and push back against any misinformation you may encounter in your community. It's about making a difference and standing up for what's right. Abortion access is an issue deeply rooted in personal freedom and healthcare rights. I've spent significant time researching the history of reproductive rights, the current challenges surrounding abortion access, and the profound impacts of restricted access on individuals and communities. This understanding drives my passion for advocating and calling on others to take action to protect and expand abortion access for all. So, to give you a preview of my main points, the first point will be the importance of abortion rights. We'll discuss why abortion rights are essential for personal autonomy, equality, and public health, and examine the ongoing and historical challenges they face. Then we'll move on to why abortion access matters to society. We'll explore how abortion access impacts public health, economic stability, and the well-being of marginalized communities. Finally, we'll explore how you can make a difference. We'll look at how you can take actionable steps to support abortion access through advocacy, education, and political engagement. So, why are abortion rights so critical to personal freedom and equality? Let's start with their importance. So, we'll get to the first part of my slideshow, Roe v. Wade. So, we'll look at why abortion rights are so important and why they're a cornerstone of personal autonomy and equality, is that they allow individuals to make decisions about their bodies and futures without government interference. However, these rights have been under constant attack throughout U.S. history. The landmark decision in Roe v. Wade affirmed that the constitutional right to abortion is enshrined in the Constitution. It recognizes it as a critical aspect of privacy and liberty under the 14th Amendment. So when it was, if you can see in the picture, that's Gloria Allred on the right, as well as the Jane Doe on the left. It overturned many state laws that have banned abortion, which established a framework for abortion access based on the trimester of pregnancy. The decision affirmed that the right to privacy was broad enough to cover a woman's decision to terminate a pregnancy while balancing state interests in regulating abortions with the rights of women. As we understand now, 2 years ago, 2022, Dobbs v. Jackson, Women's Health Organization, overturned Roe v. Wade, which returned the authority to regulate abortion to the individual states. So since then, despite this progress, according to the Guttmacher Institute, over 1,300 abortion restrictions have been enacted at the state level since Roe was decided, which shows you a persistent and ongoing effort to undermine this fundamental right. So since the overturning of Roe v. Wade in 2022, eliminated federal protections for abortion rights, according to the Center of Reproductive Health, nearly half of U.S. states have since enacted restrictive abortion laws with devastating consequences for marginalized communities, including low-income individuals and people of color. So now that we've established the significance of abortion rights, let's look at the challenges they face and examine the legal battles and advocacy efforts to protect these rights. So with the public health and safety, denying access to abortion, to safe and legal abortion, does not eliminate the need for abortion. As we can see here on this map, we can see how far into the pregnancy abortions can be restricted. So, for example, here in Florida, we have a 6-week ban. right, which unfortunately failed to pass, so we couldn't get Amendment 4 on the ballot. And according to the World Health Organization, unsafe abortions are a leading cause of maternal mortality worldwide. Since the Dobbs decision, 13 states have had trigger laws that ban abortion, including some states allow for exceptions for rape or incest or to protect the life of the mother, but these exceptions are often limited or unclear. Marginalized communities, particularly low-income individuals and people of color, face the greatest barriers to access, including travel, financial constraints, and lack of nearby providers. Another thing is that clinicians are having a difficult time bringing healthcare to individuals while also trying to manage situations that come into conflict with the state's abortion laws. This dilemma is known as dual loyalty, that forces clinicians to choose between providing safe healthcare to their patients or face legal repercussions within their states. So then we'll get to the economic impacts, which is the inability to access abortions can trap individuals into cycles of poverty. Studies show that women denied abortions are more likely to experience financial hardship, including eviction and bankruptcy. There was a story in NPR about a woman named Natalie in Missouri, who unfortunately she had gotten pregnant with her boyfriend then, and she was working at a daycare center and had to get an abortion, and she was unable to afford one, which is not uncommon for many women across the country. So the access to abortion allows individuals to make choices that align with their economic realities, which will contribute to stronger communities. Understanding how the societal importance of abortion access is critical, but so is recognizing what we can do to protect these rights. So finally, we'll get to how you can make a difference. We can educate ourselves and others about the importance of reproductive rights. We can share accurate information and debunk myths surrounding abortion and combat misinformation. Supporting organizations like Planned Parenthood or the ACLU, which fight for reproductive justice and provide critical resources for those in need. We can also get politically engaged. We can vote for candidates and policies that prioritize reproductive rights. We can research their stances and hold these politicians accountable. We can also advocate for federal protections that safeguard abortion access nationwide, ensuring that rights are not left to the discretion of individual states. Finally, we can volunteer and donate to local clinics or support networks that help individuals access safe abortions, especially in areas with restrictive laws, and standing in solidarity with marginalized communities who are disproportionately affected by abortion restrictions. By taking these actions, we can work toward a future where reproductive rights are not only protected, but celebrated as a fundamental aspect of human dignity and equality. As we approach the end of our discussion, we can recap the key points we've covered about protecting reproductive rights and abortion access. Abortion rights are essential to personal autonomy, equality, and public health, yet they are under constant threat. Restrictive laws have severe consequences, disproportionately impacting marginalized communities and perpetuating cycles of poverty and inequality. And lastly, everyone can play a role in safeguarding these rights through education, advocacy, and political engagement. Whether you've already been active in this fight or just beginning to consider its importance, remember that every action counts. From supporting local clinics to advocating for policy change, you have the power to stand up for reproductive freedom and make a difference in countless women's lives. Let's work together to create a future where reproductive rights are not just defended, but celebrated as an integral part of justice and equality. Thank you for your attention. Do we have any questions about what was discussed today?
I have a question. Oh,
Sure,
go
you
ahead.
go first.
Um, with the Roe v. Wade, when they overturned it and they gave to every individual state, you said like beforehand it was like all like unity, right? And everything.
Right. It was
So
based on
why?
trimester before that.
I'm just like I was curious to why like the politicians really were against it. Like they really pushed. You know what I'm saying? Like everything was fine, and then like we like got set back. But like, what was like the reason for that setback? You know what I'm
The
saying?
conservative movement has been, advocating for restricting abortion access since the 1970s. This has been a cornerstone, and they finally got their way, and now millions of women are under attack. This affects, your neighbors, your daughters, your sisters. Um, why did they decide to do this? This was all a part of their plan. Um, that's really all I can say about that one. That's a good question. Thank you for that, Brandon.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Next question.
So why is abortion so controversial in the United States?
I mean, it's a moral issue, depending on if you're religious or not, but regardless of whether you're religious, or you're pro-life, restricting abortion access is not pro-life. So making sure that it's, available for all women will ensure that more women are healthy and stay alive through their pregnancies. It's a leading cause of death, of maternity death is restricted abortion access. So that makes it, where women can't get the access that they need, and then clinicians are facing, situations where they have to face, do I help this patient who's might need an abortion, whose life might be in danger, or do I risk, violating this law where I can't, do this and risk going to jail? So these are the kinds of dilemmas that we're facing. Thank you for that question, John.
Let me ask one to follow up on Brandon's question. What do you think was the significance of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, and what message do you think it sends about to women and what it says about women's status in the United States?
I mean, it regulates them to second class citizens. I mean, that's basically what we said. I mean, I don't know if we know you know, we saw that video that Nick Fuentes put on the internet. He said, "Your body, my choice." This is disgusting. These are terrible things that, we have to deal with in our society. Women are undervalued, and this is just another point to that. It's unfortunate, and as men, we need to stand up for that more. There's no reason why we should feel the need to say, "Hey, you need to do this," because I feel like the need to control your body. Let women be women, and hopefully that'll make it easier to be a man. Any other questions, D?
Yeah. Sorry, I had to unmute it. I was on mute. But all right. So tell me, how does abortion impact like marginalized communities or even poor communities or just like hurt
Yeah,
communities?
so
They're like
abortion
traumatized.
actually, most abortion patients, I think over half of abortion patients are actually below the poverty line, so it's typically poor women who are having to go get these things, and imagine it costs a lot, an abortion costs maybe like $800, depending on how early it is, the later you get an abortion, the more it costs, but either way, you know, women have to like travel across state lines now to get abortions. That in the previous slide, where we see the map, these are the states that are restricted abortion access, depending on which trimester they allow you to get an abortion. But this is something that, especially Black women are like a quarter of abortion patients. So I mean, like this is for, it crosses gender or crosses racial lines as well. So yeah, I really appreciate that question. Thank you, D.
All right.
Yeah, thank you guys for listening to my speech, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Nope, thank you for sharing.
Yeah. Thank you.